Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So this is an on-demand video wherein I'll be explaining how you can create a GUI app with the help of Tkinter library, and the app is related to a rock paper scissor app. Okay, where like basically an app will get created wherein properly you will be able to play the rock paper scissor game with you as one contestant and the computer as the other one. Okay, so let's first of all see how that app looks like and what things need to be done, and then I'll explain the whole code. Okay, so I'll write Python and then I'll write the name of the file, that is ai.py. Okay, when I press enter, now if you see on the screen here, basically the images you have to upload to your app. Okay, so this one is one image. Okay, this is another image, and this is another image. Okay, and this is a button which I have used in my app. Okay, this is the app name, that is rock paper scissor, and this is the player name and the computer. Okay, now coming on to the start of the program. So first of all you need to import the Tkinter library. Okay, and then since I'm using the images also over here in order to denote the rock paper scissor and everything, so for that I'm using a PIL library, and I'm importing two modules, that is image tk and image from it, and I'm also using a module which is known as or a library which is known as random. So what does random do? Random will help you to like suppose if you're using like a rock or paper or scissors, so randomly it will help you to choose like which one you're choosing, and accordingly it will give you the output, like who has won in the rock paper scissors game. Okay, next line of code is for the main window object. That means root equal to tk, if I write, then it will help me to display the GUI app. Okay, a blank GUI app will come up. Okay, and then after that you want to give some title to your GUI app. So for that I've written root.title and then rock paper scissors. Okay, next on I have to decide like what is the size of my window, because I don't want the whole screen to cover up with the app. So I just want a particular size of my GUI app. For that I have just given root.geometry and a specific size for it, so you can also change the size according to your need. Okay, next is for creating the canvas. That means inside your app you need to create the canvas, right? So suppose if you see the app, let me show you the app. So once again, so this is the app. So the app is there inside a canvas. Okay, so this whole block, if you see, okay, this whole block, this is a canvas wherein you need to place your elements inside your app. Okay, so first of all you need to create that canvas. Okay, so in my previous videos you must have seen like how to create a canvas and then how to maintain the width and height of the canvas. Okay, so for that we can use the canvas widget from the Tkinter library. So canvas is equal to canvas, and then width and height of the canvas we can give, and accordingly we can also put a grid to the canvas like the rows and columns. Fine. Up to this done, now next is coming up to the labels. What kind of labels we want to give it to my app? So labels herein, like if you see the app properly, this player, this computer name which is written, these are all labels given to it. Okay, similarly rock paper scissors, these are all labels given to it. This versus, these are all labels. Okay, so how to give that labels? First of all, so for that you need to use the label widget from the Tkinter library. Okay, similarly as canvas you also have a label widget, okay, wherein you can write root, which has your main module of the Tkinter library, and then you can mention like text player and then computer, and then versus also you want, and then accordingly you can choose your font. I have used the Algerian font with a font size of 25. You can also use any font you want, Oswald or Times New Roman or any font. You can use it of your choice. Once the labels are done, what we have to do, we have to place those labels in our app, right? So I wanted my labels to be placed like this, like I wanted the first label to be here, the second to be here, okay, like the second one, the computer to be here, and then underneath that I wanted these two images which will show the hand, and then underneath that this will be the predictor, like the buttons wherein you can click on rock, paper, and then scissor. Okay, so I wanted to be displayed like this in my app. So for that, what I have done, I have just placed the labels, okay, whatever labels, the L1, L2, L3 which you have created, you need to place it according to the X and Y axis, right? So for placing the labels, you have to use the widget which is place widget. Okay, so place widget and then X equal to 80, Y equal to 20. So you have to understand, like hit and trial method, you have to do it over here. It's not like you already know, or I already knew that, like if I write 10 and 20, then the image will be there. So you need to see where exactly the image comes up in the app, and then accordingly, like you want it right over here. So you need to see, like if I write X equal to 20 and Y 40, does it comes over here? No. Then I have to change it. Accordingly, you have to do it. Okay. Then next, once the label placing is done, you have to now upload the images to your app. So I have in my app altogether, this is the first image, this is the second image, and this image. Okay, so these images I have, right? So if you see right over here, this is the default image. Default image over here, if I talk about, is the first hand. Okay, is my default image. Fine. Next, once I have given the two hands in my GUI app, what you have to do is, I also want to add the function wherein the hand flips. Okay, suppose if I start playing, if I write rock over here, if you see the hand flips, it changes to rock, right? When I suppose I click on paper, so it changes, the hands changes, right? So for flipping the hand, there is a widget inside the Tkinter library which is known as transpose. Okay, wherein the hands will transpose from left to right and vice versa. So you can use the widget transpose in order to just flip the image from left to right. Okay, now once all these are done, you have to load your images to the canvas, right? So for loading the image, you already know photo image is the widget which will help you to load the images to the canvas. Okay, so my images are in this particular variable, that is imgc and imgp. So that is what I am uploading it. Okay, next image which I have to work is the rock image, right? So for that also we need to create, that is this one, rock image. Similarly for paper, similarly for scissors, right? So here same thing, we have to do it for rock, and then we have to write the transpose. Okay, next we have to do the same thing for paper, and then the same thing would be done for scissor. Okay, now make sure of one thing, that whenever you put this path, it is similar to the path which is there for your PNG or JPG or JPG file, and that particular file should be stored in the same location wherein you are using your Python. Okay, so the path should be same. So basically, if you see right from here, okay, from this particular line of code, if you see till up to this, it has been the same. Okay, wherein you have to just create the images, flip the images, and then upload to the canvas. So same for rock, for paper, and for scissor. Okay, now next is you have to select the images. How to select those images? Selection. For selection, I have used this one. Okay, this is for selecting. Okay, this particular images which you can see, which is named as rock, paper, scissor. This is for selecting the image. Okay, so this is selection image, and then what I have done, I have just added the create image widget, which will help me to put the images on the canvas according to the coordinates. Okay, you have to make sure you work on the coordinates. So you have to, understand how you are using the hit and trial method, and then determining which coordinate it should fit. Okay, so if in my app, suppose I wanted this particular selection image to be right here under this particular part, so you have to make that coordinate, fix that coordinate accordingly. Okay, right? So moving on to the next part. Now all the things you have placed it into your canvas, that means all the things you have placed it into your GUI app. The next part is you have to make it function. You have to make your game functionality you need to provide, right? So here for that I have just used a function which is game. Inside that I have given player. Okay, and then in a underneath select variable I have just given a list wherein 1 2 3 are there. Okay, so when I write computer equal to random dot choice select, that means it will select, randomly select the option from the computer. Okay, so it will randomly select the option from the computer. 1 2 3 means 1 for rock, 2 for paper, 3 for scissor. Okay, so computer randomly selects the option from 1 2 and 3. Okay, now here how will I select the image for the player? So if the player is equal to 1, that means if I choose rock from the image, if I choose rock from the image, then what will happen? It puts rock image on the canvas. Okay, so with the help of this, rock image is put. If I choose equal to 2, that means it will put paper image on the canvas. This is for paper image. Okay, and if I put scissor, then it will put scissor image on the canvas. Okay, once this is done, then you have to set the image for the computers as well. That means we have to set the images once for the player, these images, and then we have to set for the computer as well. Same thing, if it selects 1, then rock goes up to the canvas. If he selects 2, that means computer equal to 2, then paper goes to the canvas, and then if computer equal to 3, then scissor goes up to the canvas. Okay, next we have to come out to obtain result. I mean, who will be the winner? So for that, what I have done, I've just taken if player equal to computer, that means if suppose player chooses rock and computer also chooses rock, the result will be displayed as draw. Okay, so if I just clear it, I choose paper, it says 1. Okay, if I choose scissor, okay, it says computer 1. Fine. Here if I say is rock, okay, so this is how it will work. Fine. But when if like suppose both are rock, then at that point of time it will display a result which is draw, which is stored in the variable res. If the computer says or like the player is equal to 1, computer equal to 3, that means 1 means rock, 3 means scissor. Okay, if the player is equal to 2, that means when the player is selecting paper and computer is selecting rock. Okay, and the third condition is if the player select is 3, that means scissor, and the computer chooses like paper over here, then the result would be u1. So what is happening over here, I'm just using the permutation combination over here, wherein I have 3 elements 1 2 and 3, and you have to find out the possible combinations of 1 2 and 3, and that is what you have to place it inside your else if condition. Okay, and then after that you have to put in inside the result, like if the computer has 1 or the player has 1. Okay, and then once these all things are done, now if you see the app properly, there is also a button which will help you to clear your results, whatever you are getting your results. Suppose if I click on paper, it says u1. When I click on this clear, it automatically goes back to the default state wherein you can start your game again. So for that you have to use another function which is clear. So I have used a clear function, any function name you can give, which will remove the results from the canvas. So for that I've used a widget which is delete. Okay, and then once it is deleted, you have to put back all the images back to the canvas, right, for selecting the paper, for selecting the scissor, right? And then after all you have to run this particular root, that means root dot main loop. So now when you run it, it will look like this. So I'll just close this off, I'll run it for you guys again. So I'll write python ai.py and press enter, and now it runs. This is the app which says rock paper scissor as a title, and these are the image which is there. And then you get these 2 hands wherein you have to upload the image according to the dimension. Remember that whatever xy axis you give, and this is how it works. Okay, to clear scissor, right? This is how the whole app will work. So it's all about permutation combination which you have to put it in order to make the app functional. First, you have to place all the elements like the images, the words, and then you have to put it a functionality.